Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next match in round number 3 of the Ultimate WWE Championship Tournament. Today we have the 43rd ranked Iron Sheik going up against the number 2 ranked Bob Backlund from Madison Square Garden in 1978. As always, I'm Vinny Vincent.
And I'm Andrew Vincent.
And let's get down to the ring. Both of these men are in their first look as champion. The Iron Sheik only held one title, and he beat Bob Backlund for that title in December of 1983 at Madison Square Garden before losing it in January of 1984 for the birth of Hulk Hogan. Bob Backlund has had 2 official WWE championships, and this first one is going to represent not only his first, but technically number 2 and number 3, because the WWE only recognizes one of them. He won his first title on February 20th, 1978 in MSG from superstar Billy Graham, holding it for 2,135 days before losing it to the Iron Sheik. Other losses were both vacates back in a time period where storylines from Philadelphia and New York did not necessarily line up. The winner, if the Sheik wins, he will face Bruno Sammartino in round 4. However, if Bob Backlund wins, we don't know who he'll face yet. Here comes the Iron Sheik.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
What do you think, Andrew?
Making his way to the ring from Tehran,
I want Bob Backlund to win, but I know that Iron Sheik will win.
258
We put him up against the Undertaker. And remember, he was rated wrong. He wasn't rated right.
And
he's like someone stronger than the Undertaker.
And Bob Backlund, we've not adjusted him, so he's rated 86. Bob Backlund's rated an 83. If Backlund should happen to win, though, and in the next round, it'd be his 1994 look, because he would win the title 16 years after he won it the first time.
And his opponent from Minnesota, weighing in at 247 pounds, Mr. Bob Backlund.
Mr. Bob Backlund.
Well, that's what he went on as in the 90s when his character had lost his mind, and when he still plays the same role today, where he's old and senile.
Mr. Bob Backlund.
Yeah, he always ran around talking about what the problem with America today was, and even claimed he was going to run for president in 1996.
Really?
No. Both men had also turned into successful managers after their wrestling career. Bob Backlund managing the likes of Yokozuna, Kurt Angle, and Darren Young, and Iron Sheik managing Sergeant Slaughter at one point.
Wow.
Sheik catches Backlund's leg and a leg screw takedown. You have to see what the storyline brought that about. He wasn't actually known as the Iron Sheik during that period either. He went under the name Colonel Mustafa.
I know. I think I know what happened, but I'm gonna leave it up to the viewers.
Okay, Backlund trying to stretch Sheik. They had a tremendous match in 83. They had a feud that centered around their strength, as Sheik is a former Iranian Olympian. Backlund got hurt during the test of strengths, and Sheik took advantage of that. And in the match in which Sheik won the title, Backlund's manager Arnold Scotland actually threw the towel in because Backlund refused to submit, and Scotland couldn't take it anymore. 16 years later, when Backlund won the title off of Bret the Hitman Hart, the same thing happened, as Backlund was beaten on Bret Hart so badly that Bret's brother Owen Hart, who did not like him, threw the towel in, giving Backlund the title. However, Backlund would only hold the title for about 3 days before losing to Big Daddy Cool Diesel in about 5 seconds. Sheik with a hammerlock on Backlund. Backlund trying to fight out of it now. Of course, the Iron Sheik would lose his title. He was known as, both Sheik and Backlund's second reign were transitional reigns, as they went from one good guy to the next. Sheik went from Backlund to Hulk Hogan, ushering in the era of Hulkamania and the Rock and Wrestling Connection. Sheik with a cover. Sheiky baby! But Backlund kicks out before the referee can even count one. Sheik Backlund whips Sheik into the corner. Knife edge chop from the master from Princeton, Minnesota. Belly to Backlund suplex. I know he didn't call it that, but I just came up with that on the fly. Belly to Backlund. I think he should have called it that. Goes for the cover. And the Sheik kicks out at 2. Backlund trying to control this match. Going for an armbar. Sheik fighting off with a forearm. Sheik whipping Backlund out of the ring. Hip toss back in. And she goes for the cover. Sheik, of course, at the time he was WWF champion, was managed by Classy Freddie Blassie. And Blassie is one time managing the WWF champion. Backlund with a pile driver. That could be all she wrote as he drops the Sheik on his ball noggin. But he's going to wait for the Sheik to get up.
But remember, the Undertaker pile driver time.
He's going for he is! Crossface chicken wing is locked in. Can Backlund lay down and the referee is running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Can Backlund lay down and get this thing over? He does! Sheik taps out in record time, and Backlund has got revenge for the December 1983 loss, and Mr. Bob Backlund, who he will be known as in round 4, will advance. Backlund's transformation as he'll cut his hair, grow a little older, and go crazy. Sheik got in some early licks, but Bob Backlund controlled the rest of the match. Andrew, what do you think?
I was surprised. Compared to what the Sheik did to Undertaker, I was really surprised.
Yes, indeed. The Sheik went for a cover, but Backlund was able to get out. Sheik won the title, of course, with the camel clutch. Backlund able to win this tournament match with a cross-face chicken wing. The same move he had Bret Hart locked up in. They, of course, in their I Quit match at WrestleMania 11.
So what's a cross-face chicken wing?
That, right there.
Basically choke.
Yeah. The Sheik taps out. Something that you didn't do in the early 80s and late 70s was tap out. You actually had to verbally submit back then.
Here is your winner, Mr. Bob Backlund.
Well, thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Vinny Vincent. And since he's not talking, he's Andrew the 10th. Our next match will see the John Cena versus Jeff Hardy. Until then, thanks for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. God bless America.